Hello and welcome into one of the USL Championship's most quaint and intimate grounds. The Sportsplex at Matthews Stadium plays host tonight to the contest between a resurgent Charlotte Independence and a red-hot Nashville SC. Tonight's match is presented to you by Duckworths. Jamie Patel alongside Gary Bailey, delighted to be in the commentary position this evening. Two clubs in very different positions in the standings, however not very different in terms of their ambition, Gary.
Look at Nashville sitting in third spot and in great form. In fact, they've won 4 of their last 6 away, which is absolutely amazing. For Charlotte, you can't see them because they're sitting in 12th, but they're only 1 point behind 10th place Birmingham, and that's the playoff position they'll be aiming for. They have played a few extra games, Charlotte, so they need to get a good run going soon, and tonight is as good a place as any to start.
Last time these two sides met, they shared the spoils in a 1-1 draw at First Tennessee Park. Dominick Adoro shocking the home crowd as he put it into the bottom right corner. But then Nashville responded within a few minutes through Carlton Belmar.
Yeah, Malotto eventually getting on the end of that, and a decent draw. Adoro, having scored that first goal, is actually on the bench. He's not starting tonight, but who knows, he might come on and score yet. But it shows you how close these two teams are and that it all ended evens back on May the 18th.
Our player to watch for Charlotte tonight, it's their magician, Enzo Martinez, leading the side with 6 assists this season.
Yeah, he can score goals. You go back to 2017, he scored 17 in 29 matches for his team, Charlotte Independence. More of a creator now this season, sitting in that sort of number 10 position, trying to pop the ball through for the forwards. But he's the heartbeat of this Charlotte team.
And speaking of heartbeats, for Nashville, it's Daniel Rios, 15 goals this season, scored a few for North Carolina FC before he transferred over to the Music City, and he's been quite a delight to watch.
Yeah, in fact, he scored 20 and 31 for North Carolina, so he can score goals for fun, this man, and he's one that Charlotte will have to watch out for. If you let him free, he is going to hurt you.
Well, we're excited for what should be a goal fest between these two sides, both looking to make the playoffs this season. And we'll have all the action for you from Charlotte right after this.
My card.
Misplace your debit card? Turn it off with your app.
Excuse me, my card.
This one's gotta be yours, right?
Yes.
And turn it on when you find it.
These are the hands of Novant Health. The hands saving lives. Taking control when it matters most. These are the hands advancing care. They're skillful, precise, and compassionate.
It's gonna be okay from here.
They're the hands giving you strength. Those same hands delivering specialized care also take the time to hold yours. And they'll be waving goodbye as you walk out of our doors and back to your life. These are the hands of Novant Health, the hands making healthcare remarkable.
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chick-fil-A nuggets make dinner delightful.
Now that's smart.
Welcome back into the Sportsplex at Matthews. As both sides walk out, it's the Charlotte Independence facing off against their cross-state rivals in Nashville SC. And starting with the Charlotte lineup tonight, Gary, there's a few changes, just 2 of them for Mike Jeffrey's side.
Yeah, both the Martinez brothers come in. Alex Martinez in midfield and Enzo in that sort of slightly attacking position, supporting Herrera up top. Sabella probably wide on the left. Out go Kavan George and Nicky Jackson, who probably hasn't scored enough for the talent that he is. A lot more expected by his manager, Mike Jeffries, so he comes off the bench probably later in the game.
Dominick Adoro, another significant missing from this Charlotte side, and for Nashville they also have 2 changes.
Yeah, Akinyoda goes out and so too does Mensah. In comes Alan Wynn and Matt Lagrasse, and it's more or less that back 5 there with Matt Lagrasse on that right-hand side. 2 in midfield and maybe just Rios as the main striker up front. And mind you wouldn't mind him up front on his own. He's such a good finisher.
Tonight's referee just assessing players right before we get kicked off here very shortly from now. Should be an entertaining contest between these 2 sides. Daniel Rios will be one player looking to make a return to this state of North Carolina with a bang for Nashville, as he leads them this season, as we said earlier, with 15 goals. But it's Charlotte who gets us underway, and immediately Enzo Martinez, our player to watch for Charlotte, leading the line.
Yeah, vital match for Charlotte today, sitting in 12th position. They've got to get plenty of 3-point wins if they're going to climb their way up the table to safety. They've played a few more games than those around them, and a loss here at home would really make it difficult for them to make those playoff positions. So massive game for the home faithful tonight.
That's how to play for a throw-in for Charlotte. Enzo Martinez with probably his 9th to 10th touch of the match so far in this opening minute. Johnson gets us back into play.
Just picking up on that theme of how important this is for Charlotte. This is a Nashville side that is absolutely fantastic side, especially away from home. Won 4 of their last 6 away from home, and that's as good a return as you can expect from any top side. So this is not going to be easy for the Independents here tonight, and they're going to have to keep an eye on a number of these top class Nashville sides. 3rd highest scorers in the Western Conference with 41 goals, and the 3rd best defense, only having conceded 19. So good luck, Charlotte. They're going to have to be at their best this evening.
Here's Brandon Miller, a native of Charlotte, North Carolina. He found his way back after a number of years in and around the lower leagues. Joel Johnson feeds it back to Miller. Aaron Maund finding Mansali, and then given away by Alex Martinez to Alan Wynn. Belmar over for Miloto. Nashville with some clean early possession as they're trying to pick apart this Charlotte side who have been frail defensively, and Alan Wynn has a chance early on. It's a delicious ball, but too close to Miller.
It is too close to the goalkeeper. He picks it up, but didn't they play their way through so well there, Nashville? Absolutely brilliant. The build-up on that right-hand side and got themselves into space and got the dangerous cross in. It wasn't the most perfect of crosses, but still a fantastic effort. And once again, proving to Charlotte how careful they're going to have to be in containing this super Nashville team.
It might be a bit difficult for Charlotte to use the tactic they're using at the moment, playing out of the back. These Nashville forward players like to press high, as you can see Rios and Wynn pressing there. Alex Martinez couldn't find Herrera. Now Alan Wynn. This is Rios up against Mansali. Oh, flicked back by Miloto, trying to find Rios. It was a clever idea.
It was very creative from Miloto there to try and get that back heel to work. And always difficult in a crowded box, but if it does come off, it looks absolutely superb.
Johnson going in on Miloto. Miloto will have an effort, but straight at Miller.
Yep, never going to trouble a goalkeeper of Miller's ability with that. It's not enough pace in it, and certainly not enough position away from the goalkeeper. But again, maybe Malotto just trying to get his bearings and distance right. And I think most coaches would say to strikers, have a few shots. We don't mind if you miss early on, because eventually you'll get your eye in.
There was a foul on Enzo Martinez as Charlotte looked to get play back underway quickly. Joel Johnson, the Spaniard, who's played for some prestigious academies in Spain, including Valencia's B-side.
I think he was at Real Madrid as well, wasn't he, as a youth player?
Yeah, he made his way to the Real Madrid C and then played for Buñol before making his way stateside, where he plays a very important role at right wing back for the Mike Jeffries Charlotte side. His second stint with the club, Mike Jeffries, finds himself back in familiar territory. He's helped resurge this Charlotte team, who started off the season in not great form.
They didn't. That was when they were under coach McGuinness, and they've now brought Mike Jeffries back, and he made a fantastic difference early on. But just the last 4 games, they've not managed to get a win. Before that, they were unbeaten in 8 when he took over, and they've just sort of fizzled out a little bit at a crucial time in the season, with games running out and having played a few more than the others. And chatting to Mike Jeffries during the week, he says, we've got to turn it around, and we've got to turn it around now. They've got 3 of the next 4 at home. This match today, Charleston Battery and Tampa. If they don't get maximum points from those 3 home games, they could find themselves not making that top 10.
So Tribbett was tripped up by Enzo Martinez, a late foul, and the referee will just have a word with him. We'll have another look at that. Just a late challenge here.
Didn't really go through him, did he, Enzo? He put his leg behind him and then stopped, which is probably why the referee hasn't issued a yellow, and he's just given him a warning to say, be careful with those tackles from behind.
Oh, and it'll fall through here. Clean through is Carlton Belmar. Good save by Miller. A lapse in the defence for Charlotte. Perhaps why they've leaked so many goals this season, and Belmar nearly opened the scoring within 7 minutes.
He did, yeah. Good save from Brandon Miller there, and just wonder if he could have put a bit more pace on that Belmar. He gets through, he uses his body well to shield it. Well, in fact, there is a tackle from Hugh Roberts. And that's probably why we're going to see a corner, are we? But I thought that wasn't a strong strike, and I can see why. The defender getting a foot in it, and that's why it goes for the corner.
I've just seen the Nashville away support this evening, following their side anywhere they go. Malotto will come back to him again. Oh, and it's through for Rios. Can he score in North Carolina? And he has done. He's come back to haunt the Charlotte Independents. 7 minutes on the clock. It's 1-0 Nashville.
Well, there's so much space in that box. What is going on with that Charlotte Independents defense? Daniel Rios gets the ball, has time to turn and smack it into the back. Gives back of the net rather, gives Brandon Miller absolutely no chance. Have a look at the build-up here. Nice from Nashville. Malotto just playing it across. And look at the little pass coming in here. Lovely pass. Who is marking Rios in the box there? Beautiful pass was it from Taylor Washington. Now you can't leave a man of Rios's ability free in the box 10 yards out, because if you do, that's exactly what happens.
That's 16 on the season for Daniel Rios, the man they know as the Magnificent Mexican. And Charlotte have an uphill battle early on now. Roberts, who had stopped Carlton Belmar from putting the ball in the back of the net just moments before the Rios goal. Now Enzo Martinez, who Charlotte are really going to have to create something for them in the form that they've been playing in these first couple of minutes. Mansali was cut out well by Tribbett.
Well, this is a very impressive start by Nashville. Besides the goal itself, Carlton Belmar was through. There was another little half chance as well. They were finding gaps in that Charlotte defense so easily. And it shows you why Nashville are sitting so high in the league table, and they managed to win 4 of their last 6 away. They are so sharp and good up front.
That was Sabella with the foul there. A new face to this Charlotte side. Just 20 years old, 8 appearances. And he's scored in his debut, rather in the last matchup against Loudoun United at their first ever match. Segra Field, the home of the new USL Championship side.
Yeah, Sabella was signed from Florida Soccer Soldiers, and it was a team playing out of North Miami Beach who did absolutely brilliantly in the US Open Cup. Stunning, and they've gone and signed him and given him a little chance here playing out wide, and so far he's been reasonably impressive in the matches that I've seen him play. What an opportunity for him, going from playing sort of part-time soccer on the beach in Miami to now turning out for Charlotte Independence.
This is great pressure from Nashville. Mansali forced to go back to Brandon Miller. Now Hugh Roberts coming forward. And King finds Johnson. And then Sabella tried to turn but gave it away. Rios. Washington now. That ball is much too heavy for any of the Nashville attackers to get on the end on. Mansali.
I think we're 10 minutes into the match, and I'm guessing there's a few Charlotte fans either watching or in the stadium thinking, well, hang on a second, guys, we're at home. Can we not try and attack here? Can we not try and make Matt Pickens and the Nashville goal work? Because so far it's been all the visitors creating the opportunities.
Charlotte playing quite stagnant, really struggling to get out the back, and loose touch from Mansali. This is going to play right into the hands of Nashville, and just as I say that, Alan Wynne lets the ball run out of play.
Yeah, this is a stressful time for Mike Jeffries. What a fantastic turn of form when he took over from Jim McGuinness, and it looked like Charlotte were going to shoot their way up the table. In the last 4 matches, they haven't managed to win. The sort of air's come out the balloon a little bit. The confidence is disappearing. The shoulders are dropping, and now they've got their backs to the wall. They lose this one, and they might find themselves in a position where it's extremely difficult to make it into the playoffs, because they've got Tampa at home. That's not going to be easy, and then a bunch of away matches coming up.
That stayed in play according to the referee. Rios. Maloto. Charlotte trying to press now, but it's a loose touch that they win the ball back from now. Sabella trying to find the run of Jorge Herrera, who's been quiet here in his opening 10 minutes or so.
I think he's been quiet because he hasn't received the ball at all. It's been all defense for Charlotte, and you want to get Jorge Herrera on the ball. 6 goals this season, and of course at 38 years, a wealth of experience and a real talisman for this Charlotte side, but he's not seen much of the ball. Enzo hasn't been able to create, and it's really been pretty much a rear guard battle so far for the home side.
Belmar, Wynn, Maloto. This is Darnell King. Belmar headed it down, and Anking dwelling in the box. Nearly lost out to Rios there. Maloto. Darnell King. And then Anking cuts out his loose pass. This is Sabella. Maloto with many touches, really driving on this Nashville side.
They're giving the ball away far too easily, Charlotte. They win it, and they sort of seem to lose possession extremely quickly, and they're back under pressure. Look how deep they are in their own half. This is a home side. They're going to have to work really hard today, Charlotte. And things need to improve from where they are now, because they're just chasing shadows against this incredibly impressive Nashville side. I don't think Matt Pickens has had more than this to do, the occasional kick down the pitch.
Well, we mentioned in the pre-match that Charlotte can climb right above Birmingham Legion, who sit in 10th place in their playoff spot, but that's the highest they can go is 10th. Rios again off the crossbar this time, and then cleared away by Mansali. Oh, he's proving a real threat, Daniel Rios.
Good save from Brandon Miller, absolutely crucial save. Here they come again. Good defending ultimately, but Brandon Miller's made 2 or 3 saves in this match already. Not even at the 15-minute mark.
And Alex Martinez is upended. And Charlotte can have a breather now. They've just had another scare. Daniel Rios' header this time tipped on by Miller onto the crossbar. A lovely ball in from Washington.
Beautiful ball in, good header from Rios. It's on target. Brandon Miller tipping it onto the crossbar. And the defense then dealing with the loose ball, but the keeper coming to their aid again as he did, making that save from Carlton Belmar early on in this match. And as a home goalkeeper, he's going to be thinking to himself, why am I so busy? Should be the away goalkeeper who's having to make all the saves. But at 1-0, there's still a possibility for Charlotte, obviously a possibility for Charlotte to get back in the game. The goalkeeper's keeping it nice and close. And if they can just weather the storm, the men in blue, no reason why they can't get themselves back in this game.
Oh, and it's too heavy for Alan Wynne this time from Lagrassa. One thing that's very interesting about this Charlotte Independent side, it's littered with a mixture of very, very young players, 19, 20, 18 years old, and as well as many, many veteran players. Dominick Adoro, their top scorer, is one of them, and Enzo Martinez is another one. But you don't see any players right in the middle of the career. Maybe Joel Johnson at 26, but they've just brought in two more players recently as well. Brendan McDonough joined on loan from the Vancouver Whitecaps. He's a youngster, but Ricardo Bocanegra, former Mexican under-23, has joined the side as well.
Seems to be similar for both sides. Nashville also have a host of players in their late 20s. And I think that's what you can do when you're a team that wants to win. Some of the other teams have to be development teams as well. They're more likely to focus on the younger players. But this Nashville side looks like it's set up to be a winning team, a team that can go on and reach the playoff finals. They are that good. And it's up to Charlotte to show that they should also be in the equation. So far, I haven't seen much that would make me think that even if they finish in the top 10, they'll be able to beat some of these top sides. But it's still early in the game. And they certainly can score. Last game, 3 goals against Loudoun away. So there's no question that Charlotte can get the goals. They just haven't looked like it so far. But that could all change.
I think it's more about whether or not they can keep them from finding the back of their own net. And Brandon Miller has had to make a number of saves this season, the 29-year-old. As now Charlotte come forward here. Mansali, he might have fouled the defender there, but the referee says for him to get up.
Yeah, Coach Gary Smith not happy, saying, hang on a second, isn't that a foul? And Matt Pickens taking no risk, just boots it clear, which is what any good goalkeeper should do, in my view. Don't mess around at the back. Seen enough goalkeepers, including the Liverpool goalkeeper today, trying to play silly balls out from the back and giving away crucial goals.
And this time it is a foul, Sabella on Alan Wynne, and he will go into the book, the first of this match.
Never a clever thing this early in the match. I mean, I know he doesn't mean to get the yellow, but you've got to be so careful, because from now on, Sabella's got to walk on ice. He can't take any other risks. It doesn't seem to be much, to be honest. He's just reaching across. The referees are very quick to pull the card. And now Valentin Sabella's going to have to make sure he doesn't infringe again. Otherwise, he'll be leaving the pitch.
Alan Wynne, former North Carolina Tar Heel, he's very familiar with these parts. Was drafted into the MLS by the Colorado Rapids and then has found his way into this Nashville side, and he's becoming more and more of an integral player for them. He's quite a player to watch. Pacey, can score goals, can create chances. He might just do that tonight. Mansali now for Charlotte.
A little bit of time on the ball for Charlotte. They haven't seen too much of that, and it always helps you just settle in and feel comfortable with your passing. Again, good pressure from Nashville. Look at this. Boxing them in the corner. Oh, it's risky.
It's quite an interesting choice from Aaron Maund, and then Brandon Miller knocks it back for the inevitable corner for Nashville. Rios was just lurking there, ready to pounce on a mistake.
Well, that all comes from pressure, so credit to Nashville. They put Charlotte under pressure. They couldn't play their way out of the pressure, and they've conceded a corner, and that's poor defensive play by Charlotte. They really haven't looked themselves so far, which maybe is credit to Nashville. We haven't given them the chance to look like themselves.
It's a chance for Nashville to find a second, and this corner kick is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Lebo Maloto to take the set piece. Tribbett just being held there by Johnson. It'll fall towards Tribbett. And then Alex Martinez just trying to be a bit too clever there. It'll come back in from Maloto. Oh, and there's a flagger. Alan Wynn was the one who nearly made the final connection. It'll be a free kick for Charlotte.
Again, more good build-up from Nashville. Yes, they were offside, but they're getting balls into the boxes. They're getting their headers from those crosses. They're looking dangerous in virtually every situation. I thought maybe Brandon Miller might come and pluck the one out the air, but he decided to stay. And in the end, there were two Nashville shirts queuing up to head that back into the danger area. I'm sure Mike Jeffries has got a pen and paper out and he's writing notes, or he's telling his coaches a whole bunch of stuff, because they need to find a way, Charlotte, to deal with this threat that Nashville are posing on every occasion they attack.
Knocked away by Maloto. Get all the latest Independence gear now at shop@charlotteindependence.com. Hugh Roberts now with some breathing space, and Charlotte will try and build out of the back again as they are sticking to their game plan, it seems.
It's Mike Jeffries' style. When he took over, he said, all I want to do is control possession and play good soccer, slightly different to Jim McGuinness, who was the coach before him.
Herrera now for Johnson. Chance coming for Charlotte. It's still there for Johnson. He clips it in towards Herrera. Not the tallest of players for Charlotte, but Mansali will pick it up. Back in from Mansali. Herrera. Martinez! He's equalised! And out of absolutely nothing, the Independents are level.
We picked him out as a crucial player, Enzo Martinez, and he was set up superbly by Jorge Herrera. And from nowhere, Charlotte are back on level terms. Their fans love it. Can't, in all honesty, say Charlotte deserve to be on level terms, but who cares? You take your chances when they come. Yep, there they go. Jorge Herrera getting thanks from Enzo. And they kept probing here. Now have a look at Herrera. Takes the ball, kills it, lays it off beautifully. But a good strike from Enzo Martinez. Through a whole forest of legs. Difficult for Matt Pickens to pick up the ball at all. Have a look at it again. Gets stumped there, flies past the keeper. Doesn't even have a chance to move. I doubt he even saw the strike. And so we're now level pegging. And the home fans are delighted.
That truly is a fantastic goal for Charlotte, and it's just what they needed. Perhaps a bit of nerves in the opening 20 minutes, but they found a way to get themselves on the board, and now Nashville will try and take the lead back, but it's up to Charlotte to really put the pressure on now and build on that goal. Belmar. Tribbett. That was cut out well by Alex Martinez. And King, this is good play from Charlotte now. Oh, and a great interception cutting off Jorge Herrera. Then Alan Wynne nearly gives it away. Belmar. Valentin Sabella. Oh, and then risky challenge from Tribbett. Fair enough in the referee's eyes. Herrera. Oh, and Alex Martinez lost out there. Goes to the ground, but it didn't look like there was much contact to me. Wynne with some excellent play now. Rios just about gets it to Washington. This looks like a much more even contest now, Gary.
It certainly does there, and they're keeping a close eye on Rios. Just saw the defenders there, Ephraim Taku staying nice and tight with him. You don't want to give him too much space, because early on they have been able to carve opening after opening, Nashville. You just get the sense that the first thing for Charlotte to do was to shut up shop at the back, which they've slowly managed to do, and then the next thing was to try and score a goal, which they've managed. So all credit to the home side. They have got themselves back in this game. So I'm not entirely sure they deserve it, because it could have been 3 or 4 by now for the visitors, but I think Charlotte will take it and see if they can build on this. But they just seem to give the ball away way too easily, Charlotte. Have a look at Nashville here. They're very comfortable on the ball. They manage to hold it and create and probe. Every time the blue team get it, within seconds they've lost it.
That was knocked away by Aaron Maund. Headed on by Forrest Lasso now. Johnson. Headed back by LaGrassa, kept in play by Washington. And then headed down calmly there by Jimmy Ockford.
I'm sure Nicky Jackson, sitting on the bench, has watched Enzo score that goal and thought, I need to do more of that. Jackson's such a good number 9, but only scored 3 in 16. And that's why Jorge Herrera's up there, and why Enzo is the man that Herrera looks to often. They might not be as natural a number 9 as Nicky Jackson, but they seem to deliver more often than he does.
Now it's Enzo Martinez who trips up Tribbett. We do apologise for any foul language you may have heard there.
And Enzo not 100% fit for the last match, so he was rested, the coach was saying, Mike Jeffries, and I think he had a slight strain, but he wanted his captain to have a day off against Loudon and come back strong today, and that's exactly what he's done. Great to see Enzo back and scoring goals.
Donnell King. Ken Tribbett playing in a very, very forward position for a centre-back. As we saw earlier, we were looking through the lineup and trying to figure it out. 3-5-2 for Nashville. But you look throughout this lineup for Nashville and it looks very fluid, no matter what position you're looking at.
Sometimes the 3 in the middle one of the 3 can often push forward into midfield, which is what Tribbett seems to do. There he is on the ball. As you say, as long as you all know where each other is, then it's fine to play that system and to push your centre-backs up, or for your defensive midfielder to drop back into a centre-back position, whichever way you want to look at it.
Oh, then Sabello's tripped up by Maloto.
Maloto from Lebogang Maloto from South Africa, Polokwane up in the north of the country. He's got a nice touch in him, got some good skills, as we saw from the back heel he tried earlier on in the box.
Mansali. Sabella was caught napping. We'll find Matt Pickens, the veteran goalkeeper who's kept 5 clean sheets in a row for Nashville. An impressive record that he's now lost and it's run out.
Yeah, but it is a very impressive record, you're right. And in that was a home win to Indy 11, never easy. Away to Memphis, and all clean sheets. Eventually one has to go in, so as Matt Pickens would say. It was a very good strike by Enzo, one I don't think the keeper could really see very clearly, because he didn't even move. He just stood there and watched it hit the back of the net.
There's a chance now for Charlotte to build something, but Martinez's shot or touch took a deflection off a Nashville player, and it'll be a corner. Confused looks all round from Nashville players. They're convinced it came off Martinez last.
Well, makes no difference now. A corner it is. They've got to get themselves ready, Nashville, to deal with the likes of Hugh Roberts, who's a big unit. If a decent ball goes in there, that could cause all sorts of problems.
This corner kick for Charlotte, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. As Martinez delivers deep and doesn't find a single man in the box. It'll be a goal kick for Nashville.
That's a frustrating waste of a good set piece, and I guess Martinez will be saying, well, look, I put it in the 6-yard box, and the strikers will be saying, well, you didn't put it where I was standing, and they'll have to sort that out on the debrief tomorrow. But either way, when you've got a corner, it's a wonderful opportunity to try and get an effort on goal, and that one was absolutely wasted.
King finding Maloto. Now LaGrassa. Belmar trying to link up with Rios. Mansali. Another questionable ball from Mansali. Almost looks like he's going to give it away every time he tries to play it backwards. Now Johnson coming forward for Charlotte. Martinez just about gets a touch there. Finds his brother Alex. Herrera. Martinez nearly caught by Belmar. He'll have another chance to deliver now. Tried to cut inside and find Sabella, but he couldn't. LaGrassa. Away goes Lebo Maloto. He's got Rios ahead of him. LaGrassa coming forward. LaGrassa tried to feed Alan Wynn, but he'll get a corner instead for Nashville.
Nice and fluid. Nashville on the counter-attack there. They've got players in space. They move it forward. They don't stop. They run at you. They get you on the back foot. And Charlotte were at one end of the pitch, and they now find themselves defending a corner at the other end.
This corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A. See there, Alan Wynn and Lebo Maloto lurking in and around the box.
Well, let's see if the visitors, Nashville, can do better with their corner piece than Charlotte did. And it looks like it's Alex Martinez down with a bit of a knee injury. And his brother just hovering over him and saying he needs to substitute him. Alex saying, no, you don't. I want to stay. I think there was a tackle just a minute ago in the beginning of this counter-attack where he got a bit of a kick. Funny enough, it was about 3-4 matches ago, if I remember correctly, that he got a double yellow for dissent, all in the space of 30 seconds, and hopefully he's learned his lesson not to backchat the referee.
He seemed to keep a cool head in this match. The next home game for the Charlotte Independents. It's Friday, August 30th. They face off against old South Carolina rivals Charleston Battery, and there's still great seats available. You can purchase your tickets now, www.charlotteindependence.com.
That's an important one for Mike Jeffrey's team to win, because after that it's Tampa at home. In terms of home matches, that's not going to be easy, because they have been flying this season, Tampa Bay Rowdies. So if you're looking at teams to pick up points, you always knew Nashville was going to be difficult, but certainly a match against Charleston Battery, the Charlotte Independents would expect to win that one at home, and good to see Alex Martinez so far anyway, able to continue.
Looks to be moving just okay at the moment, but he will have to come off as a precautionary measure. Such a vital component of this Charlotte Independence midfield. And another vital component lurking there by the corner is Dominick Adoro. He has 7 on the season and finds himself on the bench after a 3-3 draw away at Loudoun United. Maloto to deliver this corner. Oh, it's flicked on, and Miller manages to grab it.
Once again, Miller having to make saves. We'll see if this is an offside or not. We heard a whistle go. But either way, the goalkeeper's been busy in the first half. The home keeper, Brandon Miller, making save after save. It seems that offside has been given.
That seems to have been the theme so far for Brandon Miller this season, as we see again. The initial header flicked on, it looks like it was Ockford who headed it on. Miller able to grab it. But he's had 58 saves to make this season, one of which was a penalty, and he's conceded 21. So a very talented goalkeeper, but he's been given no favours by his back four many a times this season, especially in the beginning.
Well, certainly not today. Daniel Rios thumped one past him from what, all of 8 or 9 yards, totally unmarked. That gives the keeper no chance. He had to deal with Carlton Belmar nearly through one-on-one. He's had a couple of other headers to save from crosses. I mean, it's, as a goalkeeper, you don't mind having to save from somebody who creates it of their own, but when it's your own defenders not picking up in the box, that becomes a very worrying situation. So important for Brandon to organize his defense, make sure they're on their toes.
Sabella looked like he was tripped up there by King. Now a dangerous opportunity for Charlotte to deliver. Enzo Martinez standing over it again. He'll go short to his brother Alex. And it's high and wide. Disappointing decision there for have a shot from distance instead of delivering the ball into the box.
Yeah, well, they thought that Martinez could get a decent effort on target. He wasn't able to, and that's the key to this. You know, it was very well set up. You've got the chance to shoot without too much pressure from nearly 30 yards up, but you've got to be accurate. Otherwise, I agree with you. Better off stick it into the box and let someone try and get on the end of it with a header.
Roberts missed his header there. Now Maloto. Nashville, these past few minutes, regaining that dominant possession they had in the very opening minutes of this match. Charlotte perhaps trying to look to hit them on the counters. Rios goes in again.
And just looking at Nashville, they're quite a big physical team. Rios up front is strong. Maloto's big. Tribbett, who pushes into midfield, is a huge unit, the big number 6 there. Physically, they seem to dominate Charlotte on the 50-50s, and they manage to nick the ball off them. Look at this high press, Maloto putting the pressure on, making it very difficult for the home side to play out from the back.
Mond. Now Mansali flicked on for Anking. The 19-year-old with just his second start and second appearance for the Independents. And given away again by the Independents now. Maloto. Oh, and Belmar just missed his touch. Johnson wasn't fouled. Maloto. Alan Wynn. Lagrassa.
That's good retention from Nashville. Good switch of play as well. They really have control of this game when they're on the ball. And that was meant to be Charlotte's strength. Possession. And it's Nashville who are, so far, much better at it. Controlling it. Look at this. Just probing away. Making it very difficult for Charlotte to get the ball back. Of course, when you're running around closing down, it's very tiring. In the last 10-15 minutes, Charlotte had to be careful they don't run themselves into the ground.
That is the dangerous thing, isn't it, Gary? The Nashville are so deceiving. They have such physical, objectifying players, but they're so technically gifted as well.
Yep, it's that mixture of power and height plus the touch. And exemplified by Tribbett, who's a big, big unit and yet still plays very, very good balls comfortably left and right foot. But again, this possession just goes on, and the blue shirts have to run and they have to close down, and let's see what happens now.
Winning the header there, not the biggest of players for Nashville, but still managing to dominate in the air. He'll try to find Rios again. Cleared away.
It's all too easy, isn't it? You're right, Alan Wynne winning the header. He shouldn't win that against, was it Mansali there? And then he finds space and he gets across into the danger area. Charlotte being ripped apart way too easily here. Or perhaps we say that Nashville are just a very, very good side that Charlotte are finding extremely difficult to contain.
Washington has been quite active on the wing so far for Nashville. It'll still fall in the area. Win. Belmar. It's Washington again. It's LaGrassa. Just wide of the post, but good play again from Nashville.
Yeah, good probing around the box, looking for an opportunity. LaGrassa has to hit that one early. Difficult one, it comes at him. Have a look here, gets pulled back, and he's not quite at the right angle. He's got to turn his body, and in the end he wasn't too far away. It's a really good effort from a difficult position, but that has been Nashville in this first half. They've been probing, they've been creating opportunities, they've been making that man Brandon Miller work plenty. And really, if you look at it, Matt Pickens has had one shot to save. It came through a forest of legs and he couldn't save it, and that's basically the only chance Charlotte have had, and it ended up in a goal. 1-1, not really a fair reflection of this match so far.
Mansali looking for Sabella, but didn't have the precision or the power on the pass. Maloto doing ever so well against the youngster Anking. LaGrassa.
It's a tired looking Charlotte team going across the pitch from side to side, and of course bear in mind the heat in the middle of summer. It's an energy sapping sort of process you have to follow when you're chasing the ball.
It's confident play by Aaron Maund. Mansali now.
Look, he's hurt himself as he went down there. Big centre back. Put his hand up straight away, which is not a good sign.
Mansali just walking off the pitch to get a bit of hydration, but Aaron Maund just starting to find his way back to his feet. Not quite sure what happened there.
He got bumped in the hip or something. It just seemed coming together. I think was it with Malotto?
It might have been a late foul there, but Aaron Maund nevertheless finds himself back on his feet. Always a good sign to see. Mansali will play back in for Anking. We've heard him mention his name a few times, Isaac Anking, a 19-year-old on loan from the New England Revolutions. And there's a loose pass now from Charlotte as Alan Wynne picks it up.
Not for the first time, these loose passes, they keep costing Charlotte in terms of possession. Throughout this first half have been littered with possession lost. And I guess good pressure from Nashville to turn over the possession.
Libo Malota convinced he didn't foul Mansali. Thinks he went down a bit easily there, but Charlotte will try and make something happen here. Martinez giving away again. Rios. Libo Malota. Connects with Rios again. Win. still all square here in Charlotte. We saw an early goal from Daniel Rios, and then not long after, Charlotte finding something out of nothing through Enzo Martinez. Oh, Rios is in again here. Oh, and he flushes it just past the left post. It dropped for him so kindly, but lackadaisical defending again from Charlotte.
Yeah, you say dropping in from kindly, you're right. It was actually bad defending from Charlotte once again. These are situations you should be able to deal with. You can't get caught on the wrong side there. That's Armand. And he's very lucky that Rios flashes this wide of that far post, because Brandon Miller was scrambling. Now, this is a very good side, Nashville. You can't go around giving them chances, and that's what Charlotte have done. They've given them space in the box. Rios with ability to turn and score his goal. This has been a very, very poor defensive performance from Charlotte. And at half-time, Mike Jeffries is probably going to say to them, guys, you are lucky to be at 1-1, but seeing you're at 1-1, well, let's build on it and go and win this game. But no question, defensively, they have been very lax of the home side.
Alex Martinez, flicked on by Enzo, and now Joel Johnson. And King. Mansali with the loose touch. It was a difficult ball to control. As we go into the 3 minutes of added time here in the first half. Brought to you by Jack's House.
Once again, Nashville looking comfortable on the ball, keeping possession, probing. Again, they get the possession back. They're quickest to the first ball. They really have been an impressive side. I haven't seen much of them this season. What I'm seeing now, I'm thinking, well, this is a team that, could they go all the way? Absolutely, why not?
Nearly a good pass for Win, and then Herrera's upended there. A rash challenge, this time from Ockford, as he goes into the book. He's berating Herrera, but not quite sure what for. That was not the best of challenges from him.
Yeah, Herrera's done this a few times in the first half, where he's tried to get his body in the way, and a couple of times Ockford's got in first. This time I think he left a bit of a trailing leg. Yeah, and Jorge Herrera's got it. He's just tempted him into the tackle. And that's the experience of a 38-year-old. And now, of course, Ockford's got to be careful, as does Sabella. Any more infringements, and they could be off the park.
Sali now has time to deliver. Oh, and it nearly came for Martinez. Win, cut out by Mansali. And then Meloto was right behind him. The clearance finds Joel Johnson. Nice flick there from Alex Martinez. And Herrera will try to chase that pass from Enzo.
Enzo, every time he gets the ball, his head up, he's looking for Herrera, he's looking for his runs. Herrera hasn't got the pace that he might have once had, so he's got to bend his runs, he's got to go in different directions to try and lose his marker, and that's what Enzo's looking for. Didn't quite work out on that occasion.
Enzo Martinez nearly picked it off Ockford. Alex Martinez, there's numbers here for Charlotte. Oh, and Enzo Martinez was upended. Well, he'll win the free kick.
Just a minute left. If there's any good time to score, it's always just before half-time. And I'm sure they're going to have a dipper goal from here. Enzo's already got one in the back of the net with a good strike. I'm sure he'd be delighted to get a second.
This certainly will be the last bit of action of the first half, as we are over the 3 minutes allotted. Pickens just setting his wall.
Yep, goalkeeper making absolutely sure that all the angles have been covered. Very meticulous there. It's a long way out, so he doesn't have to worry too much about his wall, but he wants to make sure that the one side is completely covered, then he can deal with the other half of the goals.
Mansali eyeing this one up as well. Jorge Herrera will more than likely be the favourite. Both players with a fantastic delivery. Mansali with the left foot, but Herrera with his right as well. Herrera scored last time out in that 3-3 draw at Loudoun United. But it's Mansali who takes, and Pickens has to parry. And that is the end of the first half. A nearly moment for Charlotte, but in the end, they're lucky to go in at half-time 1-1 against Nashville SC, who pretty much dominated this first half.
Oh, they absolutely have. They've been superb, but it's 1-1, and that's all that counts, really. And just wondering if anyone could have followed up. Pickens doing well to get to the ball and then pushes it out. Didn't see too many blue shirts following in. It's not often you score from a free kick, but it's often that you can score from the rebound. Not taken. So I think discussions there. The blue shirts of Charlotte. Look at that space for Rios. They've got to get that sorted at half-time.
Excellent finishing between the two goals. Rios with the first. Enzo Martinez answered with the second goal of the game, but it's one apiece here in Charlotte, and we'll have more for you coming up here at the halftime break.
These are the hands of Novant Health. The hands saving lives. Taking control when it matters most. These are the hands advancing care. They're skillful, precise, and compassionate.
It's gonna be okay from here.
They're the hands giving you strength. Those same hands delivering specialized care also take the time to hold yours. And they'll be waving goodbye as you walk out of our doors and back to your life. These are the hands of Novant Health, the hands making healthcare remarkable.
Tarjeta.
¿No encuentras tu tarjeta de débito? Desactívala con tu app.
Disculpa, estoy buscando mi tarjeta.
Esta es la tuya, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Y cuando la encuentres, vuélvela a activar.
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chick-fil-A nuggets make dinner delightful.
Now that's smart.
Welcome back into the Matthews Sportsplex here as it's 1-1 between Charlotte Independence and Nashville SC. Quite a surprising scoreline considering the events we just saw here in the first half. The away side properly dominating this game.
No question about that. And I'm sure Mike Jeffries is having us turn word with these players and saying, guys, you are lucky to be level, but use that luck, build on that luck and try and go and win the game if you can. Of course, for Gary Smith, he'll be saying, guys, if you play like that in the second half again, then we should win this game. So both coaches with a slightly different perspective.
Here's some scores from around the grounds here in the USL Championship. Some full-time scores from Wednesday's fixtures as well as Friday's. You see there the Riverhounds with a surprise away win at New York Red Bulls 2. Charleston Battery 2-1 victors over Loudoun United. And Atlanta United 2 starting to pick up a bit of form as they beat Swope Park Rangers by 2-1. Half-time in the capital of North Carolina. North Carolina FC lead the Riverhounds 1-0. Charleston still in their first half, as well as Loudoun United, but Loudoun are leading Ottawa Fury by 1-0.
Look at Pittsburgh, a fantastic win away at New York Red Bulls, who, by the way, have been playing some incredible football, and they find themselves 1-0 down. So that's the ups and downs of this league. It's so tight, it's so difficult, and if you just switch off for a moment, you can be given a bit of a hammering. So You've got to work hard literally every single game in the USL.
As we've seen prime examples of that in this matchup here at the Matthews Sportsplex. A nice crowd tonight to witness some fantastic football from both sides. And we'll have more of that for you here coming up shortly.
Fortune can hit from here.
McCarthy once more! Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC! Big shot, and scored! And Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it!
Coming and Opara and in. What a move!
Shot blocked, follow up, and that one blocked, ball still loose.
Hanley will try to create here. Gets it in. Here's Rowe. Up ahead. Continues, cuts back. Strike coming. And just beyond the reach of Mangles, it's in. Towards the box, cuts around Ovalle. Goes down the strike. Philly on the save at the near post. Through the traffic. Knocks it on. Soto there. Back. The shot. And in. Josue Soto off the bench. And putting Chattanooga up 2-1.
A little trickery now, maybe. McCabe goes for goal, and it's an excellent free kick. A long run-up produces a long-range effort from Niall McCabe. Not the first time that he touched through from Dalgard. Dalgard still with it. He tees it up. Great effort, and a terrific opening goal for Hartford Athletic, coming by the way of Sebastian Dalgard.
Opportunities for the opponent. This ball comes in, headed away only to the top of the box. To Langsdorff, volley off the chest, and Portland has the lead in the 3rd minute.
Still Zach Sandy to drive, and what a save by Matt Pickens.
Sent in towards the back post, headed on. Calais Brown, what a save.
Dominick Adoro, watch him on the tail end of this. He knows how good of a save it is. He turns around, slaps a little high five. Devon George's going to be robbed. Calais Brown.
Honours even after the first half between Charlotte and Nashville. One apiece after Daniel Rios opened the scoring. Enzo Martinez ending up equalising for the home side. So we'll have a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. Many headlines being made this week as Phoenix rising in a 4-2 thriller against Reno 1868 this past Friday. And now they are on a 14-game winning streak.
That's phenomenal. Seriously, 14 games winning. I mean, you can't match that, and all you hope is that, you know, Phoenix if they're going to keep playing that well, that they take it into the playoffs, because it would almost be unfair to get all the way to the playoffs as a #1 side and then to blow it. But 14 games. And Reno fought their way back in that match, and still every time Phoenix just pushed a bit ahead. In the previous game, they were 2-0 down against Los Dos away. Came back to win that, I think, 3-2 in the end. So they've just proven themselves to be the outstanding side in the USL this season.
And talking about phenomenal things, we'll have a look at the Wells Fargo standings and that phenomenal form from Nashville. 23 games played, 12-1. They're sitting on 42 points, right behind the Rowdies and the red-hot New York Red Bulls too, who've now lost against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who sit in 4th place. Teams like North Carolina and Louisville starting to inch up, but we still can't see the Charlotte Independents at the moment.
Not at the moment, but there's certainly the likes of Birmingham Legion, who are sitting in that spot where there's a whole bunch of teams behind them that are eyeing 10th spot. And that's why this could probably go all the way down to the wire to see who does finish in the top 10.
Some upcoming matchups for you for Wednesday night soccer. North Carolina against Tampa Bay. That one sticks out to you, as well as Louisville and Indy, two teams that have always been top teams in the USL Championship. It's a desert derby, Las Vegas Lights and Phoenix Rising, as well as St. Louis and New York Red Bulls too on September 18th. All of these we'll have for you here on ESPN Plus, an ESPN News matchup actually for North Carolina, so national coverage for that. As the fans here in Charlotte are ready for some more and hoping that their side can turn this right around. They're lucky to be at 1-1. But surely this second half will be just the same as the first. A thrilling one at that.
My card. Misplace your debit card? Turn it off with your app.
Excuse me, my card,
This one's gotta be yours, right?
Yes.
And turn it on when you find it.
This is your health system, powered by Exos. Exos programs are shaped by science, driven by data, and dedicated to pioneering human performance at every level.
We train from youth ages through the professional ranks, in addition to the adult general population.
Though the goals of each individual may differ, the philosophy and approach are identical. Mindset, nutrition, movement, and recovery. These are the pillars of Exos programs and the foundation on which all athletic improvement is built.
They take you beyond the simplicity of the exercise and connect that to how it impacts your final performance.
Exos got me back in shape. I'm feeling great, sleeping well, eating right, body's back where it needs to be.
Rapid on three, rapid on three. 1, 2, 3, rapid!
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chick-fil-A nuggets make dinner delightful.
Now that's smart.
Welcome back in again. Charlotte Independence level with Nashville, one apiece here after this first half of action that will be bringing you first half highlights here shortly now. Daniel Rios, who opened the scoring for Nashville, we predicted him as to be a player to watch, and he proved that he would be just that man. 16 goals now on the season, and early on, Moloto finding it back to Washington, and then Rios with the finish.
It's a good finish, isn't it? But look at the space he's got, 8 yards out. Seriously, Charlotte, when you're defending, you can't allow that sort of space. And Nashville so comfortable on the ball. Good ball whipped in here. Gets up again, Rios, and Brandon Miller, not for the first time, having to come to Charlotte's aid.
Charlotte would find a response. They didn't create too much, but these loose passes being picked up, this time by Mansali. He took his time, fed it back in. Herrera found Martinez, and what a finish it was.
That's a great finish, beautifully set up by Herrera. He just kills the ball and almost rolls it to Enzo just there, and Enzo strikes it. No way Matt Pickens even sees that ball, and then still more Nashville pressure. I think this was given for offside, but Brandon Miller by far the busier of the two keepers, and that'll certainly worry home coach Mike Jeffries.
Washington, whose delivery was dangerous throughout the match, was finding great balls in. Alan Wynn there finding Belmar back to Washington, and then a shot from Lagrassa that was just wide of the post. And here are the first half stats. Yeah. 1 goal apiece, 7 shots for Nashville, more than double that of Charlotte. And on target, Charlotte were more clinical.
Absolutely, no question about it. They're playing like the home side, and Charlotte are playing like the away side. You'd expect the figures to be reversed, but if you're a Charlotte fan, you're saying, well, you know what? We won one at halftime. Yeah, we weren't great first half, but if we can turn it on second half, we can still pick up the 3 points. And if you're a Nashville fan, you're thinking, hey, get that ball to that man, Daniel Rios, and we will win this game comfortably. So let's see how it plays out.
Daniel Rios is closing in on 50 career goals. He's now sitting on 48 in his professional career. If he can find a hat-trick tonight, what a way it would be to reach that milestone. Just chatting with Liber Malotto and Matt Lagrassa about how they can find a way through the Charlotte side and not get caught again as they did.
I think they did manage to find in the first half loads of space in which to play, and it was only Brandon Miller that sort of kept the score down. Unless Charlotte tighten up in defense, I would expect plenty more chances second half for Nashville. To be fair, they didn't give Charlotte many chances. They really had that one effort from which they got the goal. So let's see how the second half plays out. But Charlotte will have to improve if they're to come away with 3 points here tonight.
Both sides with ambitions to make the playoffs this season, and we're in the business end of the regular season. Just a couple months left to go now, and points are becoming more and more of a scarcity, especially for teams like Charlotte, who've played a lot more matches than teams in and around them in a similar position in the league. This is Trivet, who's taking up this playmaking role of the 3 centre-backs that have been implored by this Nashville side.
Comes the high pressure again. Malotto straight away. Look at them, look at the yellow shirts, look at the hard work they're putting in. Making it so difficult for Charlotte. And they try and get turnover ball, which they have done.
Just about kept in play there by Washington. Oh, and Lagrassa couldn't reach it. Now Martinez will come away on the counter-attack. Herrera's in the middle. It'll be Martinez. It's a shot that he dragged wide.
Yeah, I think he was looking at Herrera, waiting for Herrera to make a run, seeing if he could play him in. In the end, he couldn't find his man up front, Jorge Herrera, and decided to go on his own. It's more a hit and hope, isn't it, from Charlotte? It's a counter-attack from Mike Jeffrey's side, but it's like two players trying to counter-attack that wasn't well constructed in the end. It's just a hit and hope shot from 25 yards.
Pickens was put under pressure. Now Martinez has a chance to deliver. And it was deflected by Ockford. And Charlotte, who are getting ready here in the early goings of this second half. Perhaps trying to catch Nashville cold-footed. Enzo Martinez again. He's been lively since we've got ourselves back in the way. Looks like he might have caught a boot there, as he's just started to come up lame and then complained to the linesman about what he thought might have been a foul. Aaron Mond. Oh, that's loose from Sabella. Malotto driving away, and there's Belmar, but it was a crucial touch from Roberts.
Wasn't it just fantastic by Hugh Roberts there? But again, way too easy for Nashville to create opportunities for Lebo Malotto to counter-attack and use his strength and pick his head up and put a lovely through ball. Don't know what Mike Jeffries is going to do. I thought at half-time that was his chance to tighten up the defense. Already it looks like Nashville are still finding ways through.
Oh, Malotto with a lovely flick. Washington headed on by Wynn. It's still there for Nashville, just about, but Mansali clears. And now Sabella on the counter-attack for Charlotte. Running up against King. And eventually he is fouled by Darnell King, who might be lucky not to go into the book here. Referee just trying to calm things down now, as King caught Sabella a few times there and then got in the way of Mansali trying to get the ball back. You'll just have a word with Darnell King.
Yep, you're right there. Exactly what he's trying to do, slow the game down. Darnell King, and the referee also saying to Mansali, let me deal with it, let me blow the whistle, don't you start fighting for the ball. So with that, both players warned. Good switch of play there by Charlotte.
It's the youngster Anking. It looks like he's been playing in a holding role for a number of years, let alone that he's a 19-year-old. Alan Wynn, another youngster. Trying to drive Nashville forward, but this time it doesn't work out. Anking.
It's good from Charlotte, just keeping nice possession, and I'm just wondering how long it'll be before we see the likes of Adoro, because Charlotte really have to go with this. They have to get the 3 points. They have to attack Nashville, and you would think that Adoro would be the most likely candidate to bring on, to have a go at the defense. Also, Nicky Jackson's a good option. So I guess Mike Jeffries just giving Jorge Herrera another 10 minutes. Then he'll see if Herrera is doing the business. If not, I reckon there could be a few changes.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Zion Jones, another youngster, an 18-year-old who played in the Schalke under-19s. Usually plays in the left wing position as Johnson upended Belmar, who has a few words to say about that one.
Yeah, and there'll be a card as well. It's a clear foul. Johnson's now got to tread carefully along with Ockford and Sabella. This is the power and strength of Nashville. Look here, as Belmar's got the speed and the strength to get past Johnson. All Johnson can do is just hold him back and eventually foul him.
He was easily beaten there, Joel Johnson. Be disappointed to be beaten in a one-on-one as a wing back at the middle of his career at the moment. Swung in now and then headed on. Oh, and he'll fall back for Rios, but LaGrassa's there and smashes it way out of play.
There's a few yellow shirts in the middle saying, well, why try and smash it in from that tight angle? Just play it across the box. We were waiting. And I agree with him. It was an extremely difficult angle for LaGrassa. The goalkeeper was closing him down. If you lift his head up, sure could have found someone, one of his own players in the box to pass it to. In the end, the opportunity gets wasted.
Visit CharlotteRaces.com now to schedule your free consultation with Zamini and Gadol.
They're just trying to push his side as far forward as they can be. Keep Nashville out, but it's relentless from the away side so far.
Yeah, it is. That's why I think that Mike Jeffries is going to have to freshen up his side in about 10 minutes' time. They just really can't get themselves in the front foot. Maybe the likes of Adoro, or Nicky Jackson, or even your suggestion there to try and come on and make a difference there, Zion Jones. Let's see what Mike Jeffries decides.
LaGrassa looking for Rios again. Oh, and that's another loose touch. You can hear the frustration from the home fans. Win to the byline, and it's an awkward cross, and they're looking for a penalty.
They're going to call it, I think. He's going to go and chat with the linesman. If there's contact, that is a penalty.
Oh, what a moment this could be in this match, as the players surrounding the two referees here. Not what you like to see. Forrest Lasso having something to say to his opponent there in Aaron Mond. But they're all surrounding the referees here, and it's not a pleasant thing to see from a neutral perspective. And the referee points to the spot. Alan Wynn was brought down in the box, and now Nashville have a chance to regain the lead.
Yep, Chris Ruska, the referee, making the decision, and from the moment there was contact there, I thought, yep, it's going to be given as a penalty. Not happy, Enzo's not happy, and you've got to be careful. His brother got sent off for 2 yellows for chirping the referee a couple of weeks ago. Enzo's got to be careful. Let's have a look here. The tackle there is lunged in, and it's late. Yep, I agree. I think it's a dangerous tackle. The assistant ref's explaining to Mike Jeffries. It's a dangerous tackle. Why lunge? You lunge to try and block the cross, not to get the ball off the player who's already gone past you.
The ball had gone long ago before Mansali crashed into win there. A clear penalty for me. And Mike Jeffries will look at that post-match and think the referee has a point here. And now Rios looks like he will take the spot kick. Closing in on 50 career goals now. This one will put him at 49.
Yeah, Enzo booked. We said it was going to happen eventually. And I hope he's learned from his brother. It doesn't get a second yellow. Got to let the referees make their decisions. It's their job. You can have your initial say, and then that's it. You got to get on with the game.
Yellow card issued against the Independents in the 55th minute. Number 19, Enzo Martinez. Yellow card, Charlotte, 55th minute. Number 19, Martinez.
Referee's getting very tight about encroachment in the box before the penalty is taken. Not allowed in the box.
Rios against Miller. 2-1. It's a brace for Daniel Rios.
Yeah, very, very well taken penalty. Slowed it down, waited to see if the referee would, the goalkeeper rather, would make a move. The Nashville fans delighted with it. A couple of boos from the Charlotte fans who don't think it was a penalty. Have a look here as he comes up to the penalty, just slows down, waits to see which way Brandon Miller goes, and he goes the opposite way. Nicely finished off. Brandon Miller's frustrated. Enzo's got to be careful. He's handed the ball to the referee as almost a very subtle way of showing his anger. So, Charlotte, we've got another big job to do here to get back in this match. Been outplayed for 56 minutes by the visitors. And that man in particular, Daniel Rios, what is he now, one short of his 50?
Yes, 49 at the moment in his professional career, but that's 17 in the USL Championship this year. Nearing that 20 mark he made with North Carolina FC. Nashville aren't done yet. Well, that's a poor effort.
Well, at this stage, Mike Jeffries really has to be getting one or two subs ready. It's around about the 60th minute. I would expect to see Adoro. He would definitely be the one to come on for me with a bit of pace. Then Nicky Jackson, maybe make two subs in the next 10 to 15 minutes time.
So for the Charlotte players kindly, Mansali will just stride towards it, but time is running out on this Charlotte side to try and win this crucial game for them. It's a home match, and Mike Jeffries is undefeated to Nashville SC at home, only having faced them 4 times prior to this, I'm sorry, as there's a free kick now for the Independents. The 2 home matches they faced against Nashville were 1-0 victories last season. And they went to First Tennessee Park earlier this year and managed to secure a 1-1 draw. But if you're a Charlotte Independents fan and you're looking for your side to snatch a last playoff spot, this surely isn't good enough, but they have a chance to equalize here.
Yep, referee Chris Ruska saying it's wait for me, you can have your 10 yards, then you have to wait until I tell you to take it, which gives Matt Pickens time just to line up his wall yet again to watch the one post. He goes the other side of the goal in a moment to watch the other side. The referee sees a bit of pushing and shoving going on, and as this match goes on, the tempers are going to flare even more. We've got 4 players on yellow cards, 3 of them from Charlotte. Enzo being the latest one to join Johnson and Sabella. Oxford from the visitors.
Herrera looks favourite to take, but Anking is lurking as well. It is Anking who takes, and it's just over the crossbar. It flashed over the goal, and Pickens was diving over desperately to try and stop that, but what an effort there from the youngster.
Yeah, not bad at all. Got pace on it, got fairly good direction. It's a little bit too high, but certainly when the goalkeeper scrambles, you know you've hit it well. And Matt Pickens just making absolutely sure that didn't dip into the top corner. So a little bit better from Charlotte there, but still have seen nowhere near enough from the home side to warrant picking up 3 points here against this, as we've said many times, very, very good Nashville side.
Ansali giving it away. Trubitt. Now Rios. Alan Wynn, who won the penalty. He is a tricky customer, Alan Wynn. LaGrassa. Now Carlton Belmar. He'll have a go, and he'll find the third for Nashville. That is a fantastic individual effort from a man who's been quiet since half-time. He troubled in the first few minutes, but he might have just as well put this game to bed for Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville fans are absolutely delighted with that, but I'd like to see it again. I thought Brandon Miller had got there. I thought he was going to save that with his left arm. It's a long way out, the strike. It's a great strike from Belmar, no question. What is it, 25, nearly 25 yards out? Actually, you know what, maybe there's a slight defection. I think there might have been. Have a look. I just wonder if it came off the feet of Hugh Roberts, because it looked like the keeper had it covered, and all of a sudden it got away from him. Can't see from that replay there, but I do think that Hugh Roberts just got a toe end on that, and that's what put the goalkeeper off Brandon Miller.
Well, it turns out that Nashville will make the first change of this match. LaGrassa has done his job. Bolu Akinyode finds his way back into the side here for these last 30 minutes to try and secure and surely leave the 3 points in Nashville's hands. Rios. Akinyode with his first touch of this appearance tonight, off the bench for the away side. Washington. And Rios! Ah, he was looking for the hat-trick. Flashed it wide of the goal. But he's had a number of chances now, Daniel Rios. With 2 goals tonight, he surely doesn't want to leave Charlotte without the third.
Well, it would be his third and 50th of his career, so yeah, I think he's really pumped up to get that. And the danger is, as Charlotte try and push forward to try and get themselves back in this match, will they leave themselves open? Because you give Rios space, and he's going to cause you all sorts of problems. So tricky situation for Charlotte now. They're going to have to start going at Nashville, but if they do, they leave themselves vulnerable.
Johnson now in a bit of a pickle as he's upended by Belmar. Be a free kick now. Get all the latest Independence gear now at shopcharlotteindependence.com, and you can grab yourself one of those smart-looking Charlotte Independence home kits, as we see Anking coming off now. Lasted about 63 minutes, and there is Dominick Adoro, the number 7, who's sitting on 7 goals. The leading scorer and probably the most threatening player for the Independents. Win. Nashville really looking to put the nail in the coffin. Moloto. Was he offside? He let the ball run out of play just in case. The linesman flagged for offside. Charlotte just trying to get out of their own half. This high press for Nashville has made that a near impossible task, but they've found a way out now.
A lot of work to do, haven't they? 3-1 down.
Oh, Mansali towards Herrera. Nearly a chance there for Jorge Herrera.
Yeah, could he have stretched more to get on the end of that? That was a really good ball in. Not taken advantage of, but the clock is ticking for Charlotte. They've got to get themselves back in this match. A goal would give us a grandstand finish if the home side can provide that goal.
Sabella. Oh, that was good play there, but eventually the danger was cleared. Alex Martinez. Mansali. Enzo Martinez couldn't beat Oxford to the ball. Mansali's managed to keep that ball in play. Hugh Roberts. Charlotte need a goal soon. They want to try and find a way back into this game.
It seems that Nashville have given up with the high press for the moment. They're quite happy to sit on that halfway line and just say, right, we've got the 2-goal lead. You try and break us down, and every once in a while we're going to counter-attack you through Rios. You can see with all those yellow shirts, there isn't much space, but free kick and maybe a chance to put something in the box that's going to cause a few problems.
There was a good turn there from Sabella that had him upended, and now another dangerous set-piece opportunity for Charlotte, who've looked threatening when they've had their free kicks, but can they capitalise this time? It'll be Mansali to deliver. Headed away by Tibbet this time, and it'll be a throw-in from Sabella.
Good defending there from Nashville, and in fact, coach Mike Jeffrey saying to us that he thought the 2 big centre-backs deal with crosses very well.
Roberts with a deep throw-in. Herrera. Oh, Sabella. Oh, and it's a good save from Pickens. And the follow-up from Mond. Mansali. A melee of plays there in the box. Sabella back in. Herrera will just let that run behind for a corner. A corner kick that's brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Pickens just turning on his players saying, come on, focus. We're going to work hard now. The home side's going to come at us and we've got to defend. We've got those 2 big centre-backs that Mike Jeffrey said is hard to break down.
Martinez's corner. Rios will come away with it now. Charlotte have to get back. Alan Wynne. Maloto. Rios is there, but he couldn't find the touch.
It's a wonderful counter-attack for Nashville yet again. They just defended deep. They won the ball from the corner, made a little bit too easily, and they just swept down the pitch and created a wonderful opportunity. Maloto inches away from finding Danny Rios. That would have been definitely game, set, and match. That's how good this Nashville side are, but Charlotte have just got to keep coming. They've got to take risks now to get themselves back in this match.
Washington. Rios trying to find him again. It was a difficult ball for him to control and hit first time.
There's been a threat on that left-hand side. Washington putting some great balls in, constantly causing Charlotte all sorts of problems with his crosses.
Brandon Miller. Finding Mansali. Alex Martinez as a run being made by Sabella. Herrera. Taku. Back to him from Joel Johnson. And now Alex Martinez. Enzo Martinez. That's a good ball for Johnson's ball. Headed on by Sabella, but to no one in particular. Win. Now Nashville will calmly try and play this out of the back, but that's given away cheaply by Alan Wynne.
Look at these yellow shirts behind the ball here. 10 of them, just the one up with Rios. Everyone else in the last third of the pitch. She has no space to play in for Charlotte. What they can do, of course, is high press. Nashville make it difficult for them to get out. But when they defend Nashville, they just give Charlotte no space.
Alan wind starting to sit a bit deeper now. Just 20 minutes to go, plus added time. At the moment, it doesn't look like Charlotte are going to find a way back in. There's still plenty of time to do it, but Nashville looking calm and composed. Just knocking the ball around.
As they have done most of the match, to be fair to Nashville. They have knocked it around, they have controlled the match. They have won possession back fairly quickly, and they've caused all sorts of problems, which is why they have 3 goals to their name. And Charlotte have caused very few problems, and probably lucky just to have the one at this stage. But with 20 minutes left, nothing stops the home side from really getting on top of this game and getting the 2 goals they need. They're going to have to up their game to do it. I haven't seen enough from them yet to convince me they can get 2 games against, 2 goals rather, against this Nashville side.
Maloto. Now Belmar, the scorer of the 3rd goal for Nashville. Well, going through his trivet, the big man from the back, and he ended up fouling Mansali. Just a high boot, perhaps. There'll be a substitution. Kimura now coming in for the away side. He'll be replacing Alan Wynn, who's ran himself into the ground here. Won the penalty that Daniel Rios converted and created numerous chances.
Just some fresh legs for Nashville in the last 20 minutes. They're going to do some running as they defend. And Kimura brings on those fresh legs. And he'll have a job to do, just to try and blunt Charlotte and maybe set up some counter-attacks as Charlotte throw numbers forward.
Kosuke Kimura has now made his way onto the pitch. Herrera's been robbed by Bolu Akinyode. And now Matt Pickens with a rare touch. It fell there for the Charlotte substitute, Nicky Jackson. Mansali now. Jackson on loan from the Colorado Rapids, a 23-year-old who's, as you mentioned earlier, hasn't really provided the goal-scoring threat that they wanted from him. But he's got a point to prove now. Their side down by 2 goals. If he can get a good delivery in, perhaps there's a chance for him, but they're not going to get there with a delivery like that from Enzo Martinez.
Yeah, the quality from the home side just hasn't been there today, and I've seen them play much better than this. Their control of the ball's been poor. They've been dispossessed far too easily by Nashville. They haven't created enough opportunities. They are capable of so much more, but and Mike Jeffries knows it. I just wonder how much that is due to the fact that Nashville have played so well.
Pickens will send this forward now that Maloto couldn't control it. Taku with a good ball now for Martinez. Whipped in towards Jackson. It's punched away by Pickens. Taku again. Closed down by Maloto. Martinez will pick it up again for Charlotte. Mond having to push forward and try and force things, but he forced it past Nicky Jackson. And Rios will try and relieve some pressure now for Nashville. Roberts cut it out. Nashville will just take their time coming over to take this throw in. Wind the clock down on this. 3 points that they'll be looking to add to their tally. Try and climb up to that 1st or 2nd spot.
It's all in their favor, isn't it? You've got the 2-goal gap. When you've got 1-goal gap, it's very close and edgy. 2 goals. Nashville, as you say, can wind the clock down, take their time, keep possession as they're doing, and as they have done most of the game. Make Charlotte chase them. This is all for Charlotte to do now, and they've got 2 sets of fresh legs in Adoro and Jackson. Just got to get the ball to them. They just haven't been able to get the ball from Nashville in the first place.
Belmar. Washington's ball in, and then headed down and deflected for a corner.
I've got to go back to that penalty as such a big turning point in this match. Really, was it necessary for Mansali to lunge in on Alan Wynn, because that turns the match in Nashville's favor. They go 2-1 up, and then you've got to start chasing the game if you're the home side. But they don't mind. They're Nashville fans. They're happy with the result. Not quite sure where the kilt comes in.
It's been a welcome trip into the state just to their east to follow their side and see them perform like this. The team that they've only beaten once in the history of their club. That was a 2-0 win at First Tennessee Park, but this will be a welcome first away victory for Nashville if they can hang on here.
And it will be their 5th away win in the last 7 away games, which is or would be a fantastic return.
Meloto just trying to beat Martinez there for the short corner routine. It'll be a throw-in now for Nashville.
Nashville will be very happy that this is all taking place in Charlotte's last third of the pitch. It's the best way to sort of play out the game when you're leading is be in your opponent's half. Just keep it up there, keep possession as much as you can.
Just as you say that, they lose out to Dominick Adoro. Well, Nashville have been convincing enough, but you really can't say this game is dead and buried just yet.
No. I mean, with 13.5 minutes or thereabouts left, absolutely not. But it'll need more positive play from Charlotte. Maybe this is going to come from this man, Adoro. Then again, maybe not.
This cross was deflected, and now Enzo Martinez will find Joel Johnson, who has a good delivery on him. And it had to be cleared away by Akinyode.
Yeah, it is a good delivery, isn't it? Right into the mixer. It's bent. It's dropping just by the edge of the 6-yard box. Keeper can't come for it. Just needed 1 or 2 more blue shirts to commit themselves to getting in there and getting on the end of it. But at least it's a set-piece corner. Let's see how Hugh Roberts and the big boys fare at this.
This corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A as it's short for Mansali, and Pickens was right under it. Great goalkeeping.
Yeah, it's good goalkeeping, but you can't put crosses in with that much time on them. Goalkeepers as good as Pickens will come every single time and pluck it out the air. So I get the idea of it being a short free kick, but the ball in just not good enough, which, to be fair, has summed up Charlotte's day. They've been second best in almost every phase of play, and yet they've still got 12 and a bit minutes in which they could get something out of this game.
Kimura. Adoro manages to nick it. Back from Darnell King. Taku now for Martinez. This is better play from Charlotte. Jackson. Herrera. Oh, he's got no options, but manages to find Johnson, who will send it back for Herrera. Herrera towards Jackson.
It's much better play from Charlotte. Where's this been for the last 78 minutes? Lovely bit of play down the right-hand side. Creative, causing little opportunity there for Jorge Herrera, and his cross couldn't find a blue shirt, but that was much, much better from the home side.
Charlotte, after this match, will have to face the Charleston Battery Friday, August 30th. There's still great seats available, so you can purchase your tickets at www.charlotteindependence.com. And that is one they surely will be fired up for, and perhaps might be a bit more of an even matchup.
Will it be too late by then for Charlotte? They've played those extra games. They're falling further and further behind that 10th position. Even victory over Charleston Battery might not be enough. They've got Tampa Bay at home. That's going to be extremely difficult. Then a bunch of away matches. I just sense this was the day they had to get something from this game, and with 10 minutes left, they're 3-1 down.
Kimura. Great ball for Darnell King. Challenging Mansali. Kimura again. And Tribbett will just send this back for Oxford. Lasso. And apart from the goal, really, those three centre-backs have looked rock solid for this Nashville side.
They certainly have. They've been very good. The wing-backs have been great for the visitors, especially Taylor Washington down that left-hand side. All in all, it's been a very good match for Gary Smith's team. I don't think you can pick a fault with Nashville. It's not an easy place to come to, and they've made it look easy. And they've made Charlotte look very ordinary, which I've seen them play other teams, and they're not an ordinary side, Charlotte, but they've certainly looked it today.
Rios on the hat-trick. Great save there from Brandon Miller to deny him what would have been a milestone moment.
Yeah.
It will be a corner for Nashville.
Yep, his hat-trick and his 50th of his career. It's a good turn, good shot, good save from the keeper. Again, too much space in the box. You've got time to take the ball, turn, and hit it with your right foot. Really, Charlotte once again way too lax, and once again their goalkeeper coming to save them.
This corner kick brought to you again by Chick-fil-A. So Charlotte fans, Jack's militia there are well and truly known, will try and put off these Nashville players. It's a deep delivery this time, and Tribbett was there. He might still keep the ball in. And he gives it right back to Nicky Jackson, and Adoro tried to start the counter, but couldn't quite find that ball from Nicky Jackson. Kimura, he'll have a go, and it's a poor effort.
Just shows you how good Nashville are, that with 8 minutes to go, they're still pressing Charlotte, keeping the ball in Charlotte's half. They've controlled this match from beginning to end. And look, still lots of yellow shirts in the Charlotte half, just making it difficult for them to get too far forward. It's been a very impressive performance from the visitors. Can't say enough about that. And maybe that's why we can cut Charlotte some slack and just say it's more about the visitors playing well than Charlotte not playing too well.
Jackson was onside, and it'll be a Chick-fil-A corner for the Independents.
Independence corner kick presented by Chick-fil-A, taken by number 19, Martinez.
And Enzo Martinez strides over to take it. Mansali will come across.
Oh, it's got to be a good ball in. It's now or never, you would think, for Charlotte. If they get one now, 3-2 could be a really exciting finish to this game.
Mansali's ball in, headed on this time by Jackson, but over the bar.
A good header from Jackson. Rises above everybody else, just can't quite rise high enough to keep the ball down. And that's the opportunity we were saying Charlotte needed, and it's come and gone.
And coming on is the former Schalke under-19s player Zion Jones. He's replacing Mansali. Mike Jeffries looks to throw everything forward he can, and here's another firecracker of a player for Nashville. It's Cameron Lancaster. He showed us what he could do at Louisville City, and now he sits on 49 goals as well in his career. replacing Daniel Rios, who won't reach that milestone tonight. But in these next 6 minutes in added time, Cameron Lancaster could beat him to it.
What a good striker to bring on. One good striker for another. What talent Nashville have.
Roberts easily heads that back to Miller. Mond for Martinez. Nashville win it back again. Ockford. And Pickens with a clever ball forward to find Lebo Meloto. Belmar. Oh, Lancaster's got a chance to get on the end of that, but just caught on his heels there. Mond. A long searching ball. Herrera knocks it down. And the cross is cleared away by Ockford. Knocked on by Taku, but the referee says it's a foul and a booking as well. Kisuke Kimura on the end of that one.
Sure. It's a fourth yellow card for the home side. I think it sums up their frustrations. Just haven't been able to get to the ball, win the ball often enough. Nashville a little bit sharper to them in every phase of play.
Having a look at that, definitely warranting a yellow card. That's an Eastern European challenge from the Albanian there, Taku. Can't really have too many complaints about that, but
I don't think Charlotte can have complaints about anything tonight, to be honest. It's a silly penalty to give away by Mansali that allows Rios to put the visitors 2-1 up, but in every way, phase of play, style of play, and everything, the visitors have been substantially better than the home side, which must be a big worry for Mike Jeffries.
Well, Meloto tried to release Lancaster. Taku comes away with it. Looks for Adoro. Herrera might keep it, but cleverly taken away from him by Tribbett. Meloto will just look to calm things down. Washington.
He's been so good. As I say, that he nearly gives the ball away. But he's been bombing forward down that left-hand side and putting great crosses in. He really has been very effective for them in attack, Nashville. But just getting back to Mike Jeffries, he's got to build a team to do well, and he's got to be looking at this team now thinking, well, if we don't make the playoffs, which is more and more likely, what about next season? Who do I have to bring in? Who do I have to let go? Because this side at the moment, Charlotte, just to be blunt, just isn't good enough.
And Gary Smith having worked it with the referees, not convinced that was a throw-in for Charlotte, but doesn't seem to be happy with his team 3-1 up.
Who'd want to be an official? Especially the sideline official, just abused by coaches and fans. You have to get paid millions to want to do that.
It's his second season with Nashville, and he's really taking this side to new heights. And Gary Smith, not a rookie in the management level at all. He hung around the lower leagues in England. He had a stint with Stevenage where they had a wonderful run in the FA Cup, and he's gone on to prove that he is a manager that can win you titles, and he's done it with the Colorado Rapids in Major League Soccer, their first ever championship, and he'll be looking to do the exact same thing with this Nashville team. But surely, Gary, he's got them on the right path.
Oh, no question about that, and all the possibilities that MLS brings. This is a very, very good team at USL level.
When Johnson's nicked away through here. Adoro. Oh, and Jones missed his touch. Martinez. He just looked afraid to pull the trigger there, Zion Jones. Taku. Still numbers forward for Charlotte here in these last few minutes. Jackson! Straight at Pickens.
Yeah, well done, Pickens, body behind the ball, and well done, Jackson, for having a dip. We haven't seen enough of that from the home side. No question about that, but it's got to be a better shot to beat Pickens. Gets his body behind it, picks it up, slows things down. Totally in control, Nashville, as they have been from the beginning of this match.
Cut out by Mond. There's still time for Charlotte now, but it really is against them. Enzo Martinez. Adoro. Enzo Martinez again looking to turn. Couldn't find Adoro that time. And Nashville just about get it away. Libo Maloto. Great ball across this time for Kimura. And still you can hear Gary Smith shouting at his players.
He's probably trying to avoid a situation where you concede and then at 3-2 it becomes a bun fight. 3 extra minutes added, minimum of 3. I think when you've got a 2-goal lead, the professional thing is to keep that 2-goal lead right to the end and not have to sweat out the last 2 minutes. The moment it becomes 3-2, then it's the Alamo and everyone's coming at you and everyone's kicking and shoving because the opposition feel that they can get the equalizer. With a 2-goal gap, it's just a little bit more relaxed for Nashville.
Well, if there was anyone who was doubting that Gary Smith is a perfectionist, they've surely proven himself here.
And sometimes you push your players to make sure that the next time this comes up, as the ball gets knocked in, and not a good enough cross for the one person in the box, it's got to be a lot more accurate, but sometimes you just want to build good habits. You want to make sure that they do everything right if you're a Nashville coach right now when they're under pressure, so the next time it happens, it comes a lot more naturally. But really now with 2 minutes left, it's all done and dusted. 3 points going to Nashville, and Mike Jeffries will wonder what would have happened if he'd have been in charge of the team for the whole season. It's under McGuinness, they lost a lot of points. I'm afraid that's all theoretical. The reality is Charlotte now, the chances of making the playoffs are looking slimmer by the week.
Lancaster again looking lethargic, trying to keep the ball in. Maybe doesn't have the pace that Daniel Rios can bring you, but give that boy a chance and he can finish with deadly effect, but it may not be needed here as this 2-goal cushion looks like it's going to carry Nashville over the finish line here in Charlotte. Adoro. Maybe a consolation goal coming for Charlotte as Martinez is there, and it'll be a corner kick for the Independents. Into the final minute of the 3 added on. This corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Let's hope it's better than some of the previous ones that haven't caused too many problems. Quick turn here, possible? No.
Adoro finds Martinez. Oh, when it went into a crowd of players, none of which were a Charlotte player finding the final touch.
Adoro had all the time there. I don't understand that. He's got the ball in the box. Nobody tracks him and he plays it back to Enzo, sort of turning and running at the defense. Nobody giving him any advice, nobody telling him what to do.
That was hopeful from Joel Johnson. And it might get worse now for Charlotte as Kimura came forward and Zion Jones made minimal contact there. Kimura went down easily, but it's clever play surely from the Japanese.
Yeah, any contact, down you go, kill the clock. And the game is virtually over, and it's been, you would almost think, the perfect game for Nashville. Perhaps if they'd have kept the clean sheet and not conceded from the free kick, that'd be about the only criticism, but it really has been a super performance, and no question their fans can be very proud of them tonight.
Akinyode, the whistle's in the mouth, it is blown, and it is a 3-1 win for Nashville SC. As Charlotte drop points again, Mike Jeffries shaking hands with Gary Smith, but he will not be pleased with that result. You see Daniel Rios, who got a brace for Nashville, just shaking hands with some of the supporters. They will go home happy, those Nashville fans. But for the majority of the fans in the stadium, they will go home disappointed again as the Charlotte Independents are on the tail end of a 3-1 loss. You can score your official Charlotte Independence debit card at wellsfargo.com with Card Design Studio. And here is tonight's save of the game. Miller stopping Daniel Rios from a hat-trick and his 50th career goal.
Yeah, good save from the keeper, pushes it away from trouble. Rios getting too much space in the box, gets it, turns, finds an angle. Look at the keeper there. That ball is hit hard. It's on target. Keeper has to push it away from danger. Can't just push it out. Pushes it away from danger, and that's an excellent save. And he was busy tonight, Brandon Miller. Way, way too busy if you're a Charlotte Independence fan, because you want your goalkeeper to be having a nice, easy afternoon.
It was not an easy afternoon for the Independents. Miller was active again, but we'll be back with you shortly for more post-game coverage as Nashville SC run out 3-1 winners over the Charlotte Independents.
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chick-fil-A nuggets make dinner delightful.
Now that's smart.
These are the hands of Novant Health. The hands saving lives. Taking control when it matters most. These are the hands advancing care. They're skillful, precise, and compassionate.
It's gonna be okay from here.
They're the hands giving you strength. Those same hands delivering specialized care also take the time to hold yours. And they'll be waving goodbye as you walk out of our doors and back to your life. These are the hands of Novant Health, the hands making healthcare remarkable.
You see the final score there, Charlotte Independents only managing a goal in their 3-1 loss here to the Nashville Soccer Club. Daniel Rios grabbing a brace on his return to North Carolina. Carlton Belmar finishing it off as we look at our full-time highlights and stats. And it was Nashville who got this game going. Just 8 minutes gone, it took them to get on the board.
Yeah, Washington with a lovely ball coming here. Rios in acres of space. Picks his spot and smashes that past Brandon Miller to put the visitors one up. Way too easy, but a good finish for a man who can't stop scoring. And then have a look here as that ball's put in. It's not a very good cross, but from it, it gets recycled really well. Ball's going to come back in from Mansali. It's going to come to Jorge Herrera. He brings it down, and look at this layoff for Enzo. Beautifully done. Enzo fires it into the net. 1-1.
A fantastic finish from the talisman of this Independent side for a number of years. But it wasn't enough to keep Nashville out, but they kept knocking at the door.
Brandon Miller having to make a whole series of saves, both first and second half. That one was given eventually for offside, but he kept his team in the match for most of the game. Balls knocked in and efforts and shots coming in from Nashville. We're going to see one pulled back here and just shot round the corner and wide from Negrasa.
Here's where Alan Wynn proved his promise. Got to the byline and a silly challenge from Mansali.
Oh, wasn't it a silly? You don't need to go in there. You can block the cross. Penalty given. Rios says 2-1. Tucks that away very neatly. Waits for Brandon Miller to move and scores. And then it's a tough one for Charlotte Independence. They're really struggling. They're being outplayed and they've given away a penalty. And then the coup de grace comes from Belmar. I think it takes a little bit of a deflection on the way because it beats Brandon Miller a little bit too easily here. You see the ball goes out wide, comes in here. Have a look. He cracks this. Just think it comes off Hugh Roberts' foot, and that was it. Game, set, and match 3-1.
A wonderful result for the boys from the Music City, but The stats really do tell the story. 17 shots from Nashville, 7 of them on target, compared to Charlotte's 10 in 4. Possession was 50-50. It kind of got scrappy there as you see the 4 yellow cards for Charlotte in that second half. Loose possession, but Nashville took all their opportunities to full effect.
Yeah, they dominated the game. It might not show it in possession, but it's what you do with possession. They were solid, they were sharp. Rios was fantastic up front. In every phase of play, they were by far the better side, and it's a tough one for Charlotte. They've been beaten by a much better side on the night.
The better side will roll on and try and do better and win maybe an Eastern Conference championship in Nashville. The hunt for a playoff place continues for Charlotte, but only just. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Nashville run out 3-1 winners over the Charlotte Independents.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.